Welcome back here. Last set of the day, 2016 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. I'm Matty Marshall alongside Todd Martinez, and right now we're going to watch the Temple Owls take on NC State. And we already saw the Temple Owls take a victory here earlier on today as they defeated the East Carolina Pirates. So Temple is going to be on your right, and on your left will be NC State. NC State sending two players up into that center off the break, taking out the player for Temple.
Oh, looks like NC State's going to catch a minor. They're going to get two bodies pulled, leaving just two. There's one on Temple's side of the field. Temple runs right by him, shoots him in the back. Only one body in the snake. Temple's in the snake as well. But on that big move on the break, looks like the referee's going to throw a minor, might be a major penalty. Referee running to go look for the NC State player, can't find him. He's sitting in the 50 snake. So he's going to get pulled out on the trade out. Referee is looking for that body. They might need to sort that out because it looked like the referee was looking to pull a body, couldn't find him. He was going to pull the penalty on NC State. NC State was still in there. So Temple should be getting the point on this one because they had their one body. They had their one body alive, but he ran down and traded out. But that player should have been eliminated. The referee ran down, couldn't see him in the snake as he was laying on his stomach. Did you see that?
Yeah.
He blew the red, but ran towards Temple first, but then came back across the field to NC State's side to go find an NC State player and couldn't find him.
Yeah, so a confusing point right out the gate here in this match. We'll see, referees are still trying to sort it out, having a little powwow. Let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Thanks. I'm down here on NC State's side. They've had a pretty good day so far. They actually lost their first match to Purdue Boilermakers in overtime, but then they beat Fresno State Bulldogs 7-3 in their second match. Coming into today, they actually hadn't had any time to practice on this field layout. So they said that first match that they lost to Purdue, they were just getting their bearings, but now they're ready to come out here and get a win against Temple. Back to you.
Well, they better come with their best game because Temple looked pretty good in that first match.
Yeah, that was a crazy move right there. Check out this breakout from both these teams. Temple is going to go charging up the middle to the W and send one player out wide to the snake corner. NC State just ran tons of bodies up the middle. We might have to wait a second on this replay.
We're getting a long look on the replay. So yeah, they got dialed in, and then there they go, all the way to the center off the break, and here comes NC State. They run one through, run the second one through, second one stays alive. So nice play, and then here was that last play, Todd.
Yeah, here comes Boucheri running down the highway, but that was the player right there that the referee was looking for. So that major was on NC State. NC State's going to be starting with 4 bodies to start this one, and Temple did get that point, so the referees were able to sort that one out. And Temple now with a 1-point lead, 5-on-4.
Well, it looks like a timeout has been called, and I'm wondering if this is a timeout from the referees to try to get things situated, or if that was because or called by, because I don't really see any action from either NC State or Temple that would tell me that they just called a timeout.
I think the referees called a timeout so that they could tell the referee what exactly, or tell the NC State coach exactly what was happening over there. So I think the referees got it all sorted out now. Now they know there is one in the box.
So it looks like they're getting things sorted here, as we are just getting things kicked off in this last game of the day. The wind is also picking up here, so we've seen quite a, you know, it's typical Florida. This morning it was overcast and not cold, not hot. And then the rain came in a little bit, and then the sun came out, and then now the wind is picking up here for the last game.
Keep it nice and breezy up in here, Manny. I like it. Anything better than the hot sun and humidity of Florida.
Well, also
makes me feel kind of suavemente.
Yeah. Well, so it looks like there's going to be a minor and a major assessed on NC State. So the minor came off because they lost the point. The major obviously still applicable, and they will start with a fresh major. 2 minutes on the clock there. You can see that on your scoreboard. 9:09 to go. We're just getting things rolling. on the breakout. Looks like another body's going to drop off the break, trying to get to the little bunker over here on the snake side of the field. That leaves just 3 bodies for NC State against 5 bodies for Temple. So Temple with the dominant power play right now.
Yeah, Temple with heavy guns, shooting from that Dorito side, then making their bumps out, coming in now onto the snake side, getting in the snake side tower. It looks like Boucheri again, and getting into that Dorito too. Gonna go heads up with the NC State players looking on the inside. They have 3 bodies, 1 in Dorito 2, 1 in the Dorito tower, and 1 in the snake side corner. Able to sneak out under that gun, but Boucheri gonna make a big run all the way up from that tower, dive into the 50 snake. Can't believe he didn't get picked off there.
Yeah, big bite for Boucheri, but he makes it in clean, and he's playing smart right now. As soon as he dove in, he's not coming up, doing anything crazy. He's not engaging in a gunfight. He knows there's 2 guns on him. He's just hiding right now, sucking those guns up, letting his other players gunfight behind him.
So here comes Temple now making a move up on the snakes or the Dorito side, getting 2 bodies over there, Dorito 2,
yeah, and
the mini Wario bunker.
Also, Todd, looks like Robbie Moore repositioning in that center. Robbie going to try to get up in that, up to the center 50. Boucheri here, talking it up, trying to listen. Another body drops off for NC State.
And there goes Temple now into the 40 Dorito. Everybody's looking at Boucheri. Just the 2 bodies left alive now. Boucheri gonna have a shot sitting in snake 4 across the field. He's gonna light up that Dorito as soon as he wraps around, puts 3 balls right in his face.
He's gonna get another one too as he shoots the stand-up in the back center. So Boucheri gets a little 2-pack over here. And nice work, Todd. We talked about this. Got in, got right into the 50, and what did he do? He didn't do anything for a while. He waited and bided his time, and then now not even gonna come out. Oh, and it looks like a major, fresh major gonna be pulled on Temple. Oh no, he does come out and still hasn't been shot yet, but Boucheri gets cold on the penalty, and I think we might have a point go to NC State. And is there still 1 body left alive for Temple?
What happened there?
Well, they got a major, which threw 2 bodies away. So it looked like there was no one left alive. There was just a body coming out. So 3 bodies for Temple were just waiting. Points 1. They're just waiting for the body to come out of the penalty box, but they get a major. And then, luckily for them, they still end up winning this point, but they almost threw it away right there.
But I want to know, who was the major on? What was the major called for?
I don't know. Maybe
bodies standing there.
Well, maybe he had a hit that nobody had saw up to that point. Ref sees the hit and then pulls the major. That's what I'm guessing, at least.
Yeah. But, I mean, they still had, as Boucheri came to the end of the snake, they were looking at where all the bodies were dead. They're looking at the player in the penalty box. They're waiting for him to come out. I had time to look down, look at the penalty clock. There was still 10 seconds on that clock. They definitely had time to just run over, grab that flag, and run in and hang it. You know, then you're still playing 5-on-4 to start. Instead, worried about that 1 player coming out against 4 bodies. You know, leave one guy, run one guy right up next to him and stand next to the penalty box with him. Worst case scenario, they trade out, right? But if you send another guy for the flag, which is Boucheri, because he's the closest one to it, go get that and try and hang the flag with time still on the penalty clock.
Well, right now, 2 relatively long points. 6 minutes and 37 seconds to go here in this first half. The refs having another convention, try to figure out what went down there in that last point.
Yeah, referee right now discussing it with the Temple coach. But the Temple still had that last body over there on the Dorito side of the field. So 2 guys got pulled. Let's check out the replay here. So here's the move by Boucheri as he comes across and goes straight into the 50. Dives and gets in there alive.
Yeah, and he hides. Love this. Guy gets in there, doesn't try to do too much. He gets in his spot, and then we can see here, closing it out, at the very end, he gets that crossfield shot, and then he just posts up.
Yeah.
But there's a major pulled here. I think it's actually a couple seconds later, but you're watching Temple with a bunch of bodies left, kind of comes through.
And that's who it was on right there. But I didn't see why he got shot. I mean, you can't get shot by a guy in the box. You have to come out of the box before you're even allowed to shoot your gun.
Well, as we're watching this point, the start of this next point, maybe we get an update from Lauren, a little audio update on that penalty. Yeah, maybe later. So right
hey
now.
Hey guys, so that penalty before was for Temple Owls player shooting the NC State player that was still in the box before he came out. So one of the Owl Alive players was shooting the NC State player in the box before he was even able to come out of the box. Back to you.
So there you go, Todd.
I mean, if the guy's gonna come out of the box, you're not allowed to shoot the box as he's coming out. You gotta wait till he comes out. I know he's gotta wait to shoot till he comes out.
Well, I don't know if you can shoot him while he's in the box, not out yet. You can shoot near it, like maybe the lane he's about to run through. I mean, you used to be able to do that.
Well, the box currently, you have to come around one of the sides. Before, you would come straight out the center of the box into a blaze of paint, and people would just be shooting at it as you're trying to run in. But either way, Temple right now with 5 bodies alive. Boucheri makes that same big move right into the 50 from the snake side tower, and then send another body, but he gets picked off from that mini Wario on the Dorito side trying to go up the middle. Looks like that was number 57 for Temple, the first body to drop off.
And here's Boucherian again in that 50-yard line. He's just listening to his coach who's right beside him. You know, Todd, we didn't see any of the coaches this morning come, because in this format, the coaches can they can come out onto the field and be right beside you. We didn't see any of the coaches this morning do that, right?
A little bit, you know, maybe not.
Not the first set, not the first couple sets. They weren't out. They weren't actually out on the field. Yeah, kind of here or there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But so, I mean, Temple, like the teams that have been here for a long time, clearly, you know, Temple's got 2 coaches, one off the field and one on the field and one in the pits. NC State, they have their big man down here on the sidelines. I think he's calling the plays from his clipboard on the field. So, I mean, definitely when you can have a guy standing 5 feet away from you, yelling at you, you know, when to move and what to do, definitely plays to your advantage. But
yeah, so, well, it's a huge advantage if you have that capability. You definitely want to access that capability. So right now it's been all Temple. A couple close points though, but NC State just hasn't really mounted any sort of solid offense. Temple, you know, getting Boucheri in here into this 50-yard line, doing what he needs to do. We see this replay here. So there he is again, 50-yard line in that snake, and not doing too much for the most part. He's just in that spot, staying alive, forcing people to react to him being in there, and his guys are getting kills around him. Temple's just doing a real solid job of executing that game plan and then finishing these points off and getting some help with penalties, of course.
Yeah, and Temple, you know, again, doing a good job of backing up Boucheri. As soon as he goes to make his move, his secondary players coming in right behind him, gun up into his spot. You know, sometimes the best time to make a move is when your front guy is going, because everybody switches their gun real quick reactively towards the front guy, and you can sneak through a lane that a guy previously was cutting down. So good job right there by Temple to play that 2-man game over here on the snake side and really continue to launch bodies over there on that Dorito side, get far up the field, put the pressure on NC State.
You know, we saw this in the last match. In case you guys are just joining us, we saw Texas A&M just slowly but surely start to run away from Florida Atlantic Owls, as the Owls, even though they played some close points, just couldn't put anything on the board. And we're starting to watch that right now with Temple and NC State. I mean, this is the point right now where NC State, they got to start putting points on the board to keep this one at least honest heading into the second half. Still have some time in this first half, 4 minutes and 32 seconds to go, but I like what I'm seeing out of Temple. Just like in their first match. When Temple played against East Carolina Pirates, they also were dictating the pace of those points.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris Kutzler at Cabbage going out to the Dorito side for Temple. Heavy guns. They're going to get 2 on the break. Maybe a third as the referee runs a check in that Dorito side tower. NC State sending a body up into that center can over here on the snake side to try and lock off Boucheri, but, you know, still playing really smart, not giving that away, and still rolling heavy guns over there on the Dorito side. They lose 1. Coming off right now, that looks like, can't really see, but still 4 bodies alive. Temple in that Dorito too. NC State player tries to make a move up in the middle from that center can and gets chopped to bits.
So no one on the snake side right now, and here comes the attack. And Boucheri is just having a game over here on the snake side of the field, playing real smart, playing real aggressive, getting tons of kills, and most importantly, not doing anything dumb. He's letting the play develop. He's letting Dugan and the other players around him play off his moves. I think he took a pretty solid dive on his chest in that last one. You see him kind of get up a little slow.
He ain't scared at all. He's going full speed. I think Boucheri might be a senior. We've seen him for a couple years now. I know definitely one. I want to say 2. I don't think he was a freshman when he first came on. Boucheri might be a senior.
He's playing like it.
Yep.
I mean, he looks polished.
So, here's the move by NC State. He was locking off, but then there goes Boucheri, makes his move. So he decides, I better get up in this center W. But that play didn't work out for him. Not mobile like Phillip Rivers from NC State in the pocket so much. But there goes Boucheri with the big move. He has just been having a field day over here, getting wherever he wants on the snake side for Temple.
1 VCK.
And then realized it was just the back center left. As he walks it in, gets a call from his coach on the sidelines, pump the brakes a little bit as they get it sorted out.
So a bunch of points here put up on the board for Temple. 4-0 is the score. This game brought to you by GI Sports, makers of some pretty amazing paintballs, as you can tell by how many winning teams have been using those paintballs throughout the years, as well as Kissimmee Sports.
Shout out to everybody tuning in and watching us here on the College Championships. Definitely my favorite tournament of the year. So happy to be invited back every year. Having a great time coming out here. The college atmosphere is definitely one that is fun to be a part of. These teams come out here, they give it their all, representing their schools, representing where they're from. Had this conversation in Spain with Archie Montemayor, you know, how you talk about it all the time. You know, it's cool when you have teams that are all coming, you know, like the pro teams that come from one place.
Tribalism.
You know, tribalism. That's the way it is here with these college teams for sure. You're representing your school. Always a fun event to come out here.
Yeah, me too. Love coming out here. The camaraderie and the rivalries out here is just, it's a joy to be a part of, man. It really is.
Getting caught trying to make that snake move.
Hey, this is what we need to see right now at NC State.
Yeah, NC State showing some life up there, getting up there in the middle right away, chopping up Kutzler.
It's Mike Haruska up there.
Are you kidding me? This is only Boucheri's second year. He's a sophomore, so last year we saw him was his first year. Out here doing work, they're gonna have him for a couple more years.
He could be a star.
Yeah, definitely.
The NCPA All-Stars that play in the NXL should pick him up.
Looks like Temple loses the body, making a bump out on the Dorito side as NC State got up wide, got him that 40 Dorito right away, and is wrapping around the outside. Now probing the middle of the field, standing up wide, looking for this snake player. I see 2 bodies left alive for NC State. I see 2 for Temple. They'll make that 3 for NC State. They have the Dorito 2 as well as the center wall and the 40 Dorito. So 2 bodies in the red zone. The 2 bodies for Temple in the Dorito side tower and the snake side tower.
Well, Dugan's in a spot right now where he's just trying to take as much time off the clock as possible. There's only 1 minute and 46 seconds left before we get to halftime. So if he could try to fight here with the last remaining player and just keep these guys, I mean, and then a high body situation for NC State. These are the points you have to win to stay in this match. It's 3-on-2, and you have a player just run to his death. Didn't check off on a laying, and Dugan just pieced him up.
Yeah, I think they thought they were crossed up. Tried to come down the wire and got sawed in half, cutting down the inside highway. And then the player from Dorito 2 on NC State now came into the inside. He's going to bump back out to the outside, go back to Dorito 2. So Dugan now, with all the freedom on the outside of the snake side tower, plenty of paint too, loads wide. He's focusing his gun on that middle. Under a minute to go here now.
Dugan is doing a really good job right now. Can't see who that other player is left alive for Temple, but the 2 players left alive for Temple, Dugan and his teammate, they are doing exactly what they need to do. That's Dugan on your screen. Yeah, so it's, I mean, all they need to do, here comes the attack. Oh, he cuts the gap. No one saw him. Nice work. And now it's a 1-on-1. And it gets roped up. Now we're about to find out who that is. So number 5 for Temple.
At Cabbage. What a move by At Cabbage. He won his gun battle. heads up. And then right when the player from NC State made that move on Dugan, he gave him the okie doke, wrapped around Dorito's side, and then as the NC State player went into his back center, cut right through the middle on Ruska.
Yeah, Ruska
shot him in the side.
Well, Ruska made a good move. That was a good move with not a lot of time left. He did what he needed to do, but that was just a better move by Cabbage.
Exactly. It was the right move to make that run on Dugan, but happened just a second too late as that Cabbage was already on his way up the middle. So 6 seconds left here. Probably going to run that clock off as Temple shuts out NC State in the first half. Check out this replay. So here's that first move, trying to go down, thinking that at Cabbage was on the inside, but he was on the outside, so he chopped him to bits.
Yeah, it was Knox.
And now you see the gun split. So at Cabbage, he sees the body run by.
Yeah, it's Ruska.
So there goes Ruska. He's going to come into the center and then look on the outside, and there comes at Cabbage, shoots him right in the pack.
Just gets the drop on him. So that was a good move by Ruska and just a better move by at Cabbage to save that point. So before we get into our second half, let's check in with Lauren Kelly.
Thanks. I am here on the NC State sidelines. As you can see behind me, they're having a team huddle, and I was eavesdropping for a bit there. They were saying that they are playing way too aggressive for Temple right now. Temple's doing a great job playing the pocket, and they're just waiting for the NC State players to run into their paint. So they're trying to put some smarter, slower game plans together to get some points here on the board. Back to you.
What do you think about that?
Well, I kind of feel like Temple right now is playing a smarter, slower game, and sometimes, when somebody's doing that to you and you can't get wide, the best thing you can do is try and just go heads up with the slower game. Well, it sucks when you're down points, but it's kind of what you have to do sometimes.
Well, I kind of agree with you, except for Boucheri. Boucheri's getting up here in the snake. Things are slowing down around him as the guns turn to him. He's playing hyper aggressive over here, diving into the 50-yard line. So he's definitely not playing conservative at all. But everyone around him is playing smart paintball off of that move. So, and it's working for him. And if it's working, keep running it until they can stop it. So we'll see if
he's not forcing any of those moves.
He's not. He's not. But that's still, he is still playing really aggressive over there.
Yeah,
but it's the aggression you want, the smart aggression. So, yeah, we're going to head into the second half action here after a short break. We'll be right back.
The R2 has taken Dye's proven rotor platform, known for years for delivering high-level professional performance, to a new height in paintball loader technology. The R2 gives you the freedom to switch between low and high capacity, allowing for a choice between a 200 and 260 ball capacity at any time, without the need for tools or additional shells. The R2 Reload Alert gives you a progressive alert as you deplete your paint reserve. The Reload Alert system signals you when the R2 is low on paint, and it's time to reload. The patented rotor carousel provides consistently high feed rates, which far exceeds pro requirements, and a re-engineered feed system yields improved feeding reliability. With the active power conservation, the R2 monitors power needs and continuously optimizes the power supply. This active conservation of power makes the loader extremely efficient and provides excellent battery life. The R2 alerts you with a red indicator light when the batteries have reached levels low enough to possibly impede performance. The R2 can be effortlessly broken down for true toolless cleaning and maintenance. The collapsing floor tray gives you the maximum ball capacity while ensuring reliable feeding down to the last ball. And with the highest feed rate on the market, rotor is certain to keep up with any marker. The R2 benefits from the new rapid release safeguard system. This system allows you to change between a lid and a quick feed at a moment's notice, depending on your playing needs and weather conditions. The Dye R2 loading system, proven technology with new added and upgraded functional features, bringing smart, elegant loader engineering to the game, designed with the player in mind.
back. Second half action here. Last game of the day. NC State taking on Temple. It's been all Temple in that first half. The score, 5-0. We're going to throw 10 more minutes on that clock, play this second half out, see if NC State can get back in this match. These teams have switched sides. NC State is now on your right. Temple will be on your left.
NC State going hard up the middle right away. He's going to get in there alive. Temple's going to lose one body out the backside. And NC State going to push hard up on that Dorito side early as well, up into Dorito 2.
NC State player up in the center, all over the place up in there, trying to lock down this snake side where there is nobody alive except for a body in that back center, the blue area of the field in the stand-up can. He tries to get out wide, he gets shot out.
Boucheri getting shot, coming off the field for Temple. They lose another body. They still got 2 in the back center, 1 in the Dorito 1. NC State standing up tall. Looks like Anton standing up tall in that center. Alston standing in the center right now looking for bodies. But they still have 3. Oh, no, they're going to lose 1 out of that back center. He comes walking off.
So NC State starting strong here in the second half. Looking like they have the body alive to be able to hang that flag. That is exactly what they needed. Now a 4-point game with 8 minutes and 46 seconds to go.
Yeah, quick point there with Alston going up to that center right away. There was nowhere, you know, you put your tall guy up there, he can look through those cracks a little bit better. And there goes Alston off your screen. There's the NC State coach right there.
That's what you want to see. NC State down a bunch of points coming into this second half. They're switching sides and aggressive right up into the center, getting kills off the break, so those off the break shots are dialed in, and then closing it out smart. And just, you know, that's a nice solid point from them. I mean, they did lose some bodies, but most importantly, they got that point on the board. So now with the 4-point game, and they have a chance here. As you can see here on the replay, the referee running over there top of your screen to pull out one of the players. But here comes the attack down on that D side. You can see there's not a lot of bodies left alive, just those 2 players, but just blows it open here. So nice move down on that D side of the field.
Yep, here comes NC State walking into their pit. You play the first half on the opposite side of field of your pit. You play the second half on your own pit side. So that way your team can yell at you, coaches can yell at you a little bit better. And there's NC State, Anthony Nigro. So they got a couple big boys down there. Got some wheels though.
And there are, on the flip side, Temple. I think that's Boucheri. Is that Boucheri?
Yep, number 4. Here's Kutzler.
Yeah, Kunstler coming on.
Looks like Big Negro is going to go up the middle again. Try and charge that W. Oh, does he go?
No, stays. So heavy guns off the break for NC State.
Kutzler goes to that Temple.
You can see there the conservative breakout for NC State on your screen. A little bit better break for Temple as they take ground in the center.
There's Boucheri on your screen. Heads up, standing at that snake side tower, looking to make a move again. NC State's got 1 body in the back center, locking him off, but he might have just caught a bouncer. He could be walking off. Boucheri going to take full advantage of that gun dropping.
Well, Todd, there's that insert move you were talking about. How he's been getting in that bunker, getting into the red zone in that 50-yard line, really smart, and mostly on the insert, just timing it perfectly through lanes.
Yeah, he's not forcing it. He's just going at the right time every single time. Playing really smart. Now he picks off the bodies sitting doubled up in the back center right now for NC State. 4 bodies left alive. 1 in the snake side can, 1 in the back center, 1 in the Dorito tower, and 1 in Dorito 1. They're all looking at Boucheri right now, getting ready to tee off on them, but he might have gotten shot. Referee asking for a check. Come in, he might have got a bounce. He's still in there alive, lucky, because I think that snake can might have put one in on him, or that first Dorito 1. But Kutzler now in the center for Temple, looking to make a move in the middle. trying to help Boucheri.
Yeah, ooh, but Boucheri catches one in there. I was gonna say, it's tough. If you're in the center, if you're locked in the pocket and the other team gets out wide like Temple is, you have to get kills from that pocket or that play doesn't work. So that was a great shot right there. One of the players in the center for NC State to take out the weapon for Temple, Boucheri, here in the Snake.
Yeah, it looks like they get another one though. And make that 2 more. Both bodies from the Dorito side come walking off for NC State. Kutzler in the middle. Now making a move out here to the Snake side. Temple getting into that Snake side tower. Looking like he wants to come.
And here comes the move for Temple to execute the last player in that center.
There goes Duggan down the middle, or down the Snake side.
That was Chris Kutzler.
Kutzler make that move through the middle. That was a good job right there by Kutzler. He got there on the break. He recognized when Boucheri died. Tried to make that move down the middle earlier, playing off the guns, looking towards Boucheri. Ended up closing out the game anyway. So
he's going to walk that flag in. Jake Dugan going to walk the flag in, and NC State doesn't appear to be very concerned with time. I would have blown that horn a lot earlier, preserve as much time as you possibly can because, you know, yeah, you're down 5, but you want to at least give yourself an opportunity. So there's Boucheri. He's about to head check into a ball right here. It comes out a little bit more and then just catches one. That's some sharp shooting out of that back center on Boucheri. And then here came that Rue Kunstler. Comes through, stitches up the last player. I think the last player might have been dead anyway, but Kunstler tried to make it look pretty on the bunkering slide.
Looks like we got Lauren down in the NC State pits. Lauren.
Thanks, guys. I'm standing here with Merrick Alston. Now, during the half, you guys had a team huddle. I heard you talking about Temple playing the pocket well. What were some things you wanted to change up to make sure you could get some points this?
We were essentially running into their guns, so we figured why not just put on some heavy guns and run one up the center. That was me. And then, you know, give them a taste, not a taste of their own medicine, but stop running into their guns and just lane them, and prevent them from getting wide, and then kill them in the center. And that's what we did.
So do you feel to match their slower play, it's better for you guys to slow down or to amp up that aggression even more?
I think it's best if we focus our aggression. Like before we were trying to get wide and then bump out, but with that pocket we really can't get that wide that easily. So we just go aggressive with heavy guns and then, you know, punch up the center.
All right, we'll see if they can get some points on this board to close out that point spread. Back to you guys.
Wow, Alston, that guy has the deep baritone, man. He's like Morgan Freeman over there. Can we get Barry White to come up here and narrate some games?
We need to get him on our boy band.
Yeah,
sure.
That guy has got a deep, deep voice. And he's really tall too. You know, and that tall guy is going up in that center with this new bunker set. My God, it is a huge advantage to be over 6 foot tall.
Who's the guy with the really high voice?
In
our boy band.
From like a paintball player with a high voice?
No. Like, what's that guy called? He's the baritone.
Alto.
The alto. My boy Max can do.
Or soprano.
Yeah.
Yeah. Soprano's like the far reaches of it.
I'm just a backup dancer. You know what I mean? I'm not really gonna sing. I'm just gonna do.
You just in there doing that little two-step.
I'm one of the
keeping the rhythm.
I'm one of the ooh guys. You know. Like, you sing. We'll get that guy to drop some of them low ones, and then I just come in with the ooh.
Here we go. Right now, Temple trying to get up there. 2 bodies up for NC State. Gets the first one, gets the second one. Oh, nice run through. I think he's clean. It was Moore again. So Moore has definitely been doing some work here for Temple.
Yeah, he got up there quick. Picked up both those bodies. He's like, I ain't no backup dancer. I'm taking the lead up here through the middle.
You know what, though? We're talking about favorites as we've seen these teams start to play out. Obviously, Texas A&M looked phenomenal in their game. Temple looks good. I like the production we're seeing out of some of these guys. Dugan's playing well. Obviously, Boucheri in the Snake side. Cabbage has had some points. They're starting to get some productions. Kunstler been on the run through a couple times.
Yeah, Kunstler actually, you know, he's from Pennsylvania, but he played on a team out in California for a bit, the Wrecking Crew. You know, the same team that Alex Rodriguez from Dynasty came from, CC from the Ironmen, Eric Humphreys played for the Ironmen. That California,
that West
San
Coast
Diego
offense.
Wrecking Crew squad. Check out this replay. So here comes Moore on the middle. move, gets him before he can get his gun up, gets the second guy, turns around, calls himself out, but doesn't even have any hits on him.
Watch it from this other angle. Look at this. This is what you dream about. Gets one, gets two, blasts the first guy, doesn't trade out. I mean, he smartly calls him, well, at least he's out in the open, and he checks him, he's checking himself out as he kind of takes a little bit of cover there, but still, just nice run through by Moore. 7-1 is the score. Temple just dominating this game here against NC State. 5 minutes, 23 seconds to go.
Yeah, definitely having a good one out here. And I think that's him right there on the screen. Sean
McDonald. Not the Sean McDonald.
Not 5'2" Sean McDonald.
He used to play for the Ironman.
Yeah.
The Cajun assassin.
Yeah. Shout out New Orleans. Joe Cody in the mix. Big Joe Cody.
If your name's Sean McDonald and you want to play paintball, you better come with some aggressive game.
Seriously. As Temple gets out to that Dorito 1, doubling up the back center. Looks like the big man going up in the middle for NC State's going to get a minor. That was Ruska again. He's going to get one of his body pulls, but NC State making a move into the 40 Dorito. Here comes Joe Cody, though. He's going to try and counter, goes up into the W. Ruska picks him up, but here comes the big move. Cody's going to trade out. NC State getting a major. Just one body left alive now, sitting in that tiny little cake with two Temple players. And here comes the rundown Payne, bringing himself on that last body. Sorry.
That was too easy, man. I can't believe we went for that one. Yeah, nice work by Payne. We're seeing Temple getting some of their other guys some reps right now and getting some production. So
yeah,
Temple just start
play.
Yeah, they're running away with this one right now, especially with NC State on that major penalty. We're going to see some quick points here. So you're looking at, there's Cody up in the center. He gets that shot on the aggressor for NC State, trades out with them, but that's all he needed to do at that point. They had a lot more bodies than NC State did in that desperation run. Sometimes that plays out. I like to see the aggression, but just a little too much Temple right now for NC State, and with about 4 minutes and just a little under 4:30 to play here. This game brought to you by GI Sports, and we are going to take a quick, short commercial break. We'll be right back. And we are back with just about half of the second half to go here, quarter of this game left. And Temple exerting their dominance in this game and proving that they are a favorite in this tournament. Along with some of these other, we've seen some big scores today. Liberty Flames early on this morning taking down the U.S. Naval Academy. They look good doing it. They put 10 on the board. Drexel, they won a pretty close one against Fresno State. Wanted to see more out of Fresno State in that game. Huskies beat up on this Kennesaw State Owls. Then Temple, they defeated Carolina Pirates. And then the Purdue Boilermakers won a pretty solid one against Miami Redhawks. And then Central Florida, they beat up on Clemson. Definitely seeing some favorites out here, Todd.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait for tomorrow's action. Seemed like today went pretty quick.
It did.
Especially when the games are so fun, exciting to watch. There goes the crazy madness. Looks like he's calling his shots. Temple player coming through. Well, saying he got both.
Well, that was Barry White, a.k.a. Alston, up in the center for NC State.
Black Cabbage came through the middle, stuffed him, then sang the slow song to his homeboy that was sitting in that red pin on the snake side. As NC State, looks like Negro there in the back center got shot in the pod. Ended up standing up and walking out. I'm sorry, that's not Negro. That is The other big dog, Church. Andrew Church. As
there's still one player left alive for NC State in D2, and he gets run down. So
yeah, Robbie Moore.
Temple still just running up the score here, especially with that NC State penalty. Still 12 seconds on that penalty. See a body over there in the penalty box?
Uh-uh.
Why?
Moore's been making some good moves, though, man, on these finishes. I'll tell you what, there's only 4 seconds left on that penalty. Moore's getting his gun checked right now.
That's Payne. Oh, no, you're right. Moore is getting his gun checked out.
Payne's getting his gun checked, too, over in the flag station.
Payne's good to go. Moore doesn't even have his gun in his hands right now as the refs are checking it out. Watch it shooting like 25 balls a second. 380. We'd hear it from here if it was.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so you can see that replay and the run through in the center. And here comes the closeout. Just that one body picks the right lane. As you could hear the people screaming on the sideline, letting he was coming. So, and the closing minutes of this game, 3:08 to go. It's been all Temple. Let's check in with Lauren again.
Thanks. Like you said, Temple has such a significant lead, but they're not happy with the point spread as it is. They said they want to go for blood. The coach said that he wants at least 2 more points from this 3-minute game that's left. So we're going to see them still playing aggressive. They're not giving up. They're going to get as many points and have the largest point spread that they possibly can. Back to you.
Just running up that score. Well, you know what? Again, when we're talking about heading into the later rounds of this competition, I do like the perfection that Temple is asking out of themselves, each other, not only from their own personal play but from their teammates. We saw who's the guy that who used to play for Wrecking Crew?
Kutzler.
Yeah. So we spoke to him during the break, and he was the guy that got really angry. Remember in Temple's first game, he's kind of flipping out a little bit when they were up like 3 or 4 or 5 points, and look down, he's flipping out on his teammates, not in a bad way, but just kind of expecting the best play they possibly can, because they really want to come and win this tournament. You can tell out of all the teams we've seen out here today, I'd have to put Temple, as far as the mental intensity they're bringing, what they're expecting out of each other, definitely up in the top tier here at this event.
Well, they've definitely been close, year after year. They just haven't been able to get, that last little bit as a minor penalty goes flying in the air on NC State side of the field. Two bodies come off.
Well, I saw a yellow flag, but I see a major on the clock, so maybe the ref just went for the wrong flag. But still, the beating is just continuing here. Still, though, 2 players left alive for NC State, but the hammer's about to get dropped in the center.
Yeah, that was Kutzler coming through the middle of the field.
Another major on NC State. Oh my God. The beatings will continue until morale improves.
But yeah, Maddie, like we talked about earlier, with these, when we were watching the Clemson game, they start getting a beat down, but then they dig deep and they fight, and it's like a team, like any pro team that's trying to get to the top, You have to fight your way and learn how to win in the prelims. And then you start playing Sundays, and you're not just happy with making Sundays anymore. You get your way into the finals eventually, and then you lose the finals. You know what it's like to lose the finals. That's why Edmonton Impact, other than, their giant budget and all the money that they spend on top-tier players, but, that team, their core, the Canadian guys, those guys have fought their way from top to bottom. For many years, figuring out how to win.
And they took their beatings early on in their competitive days.
Absolutely, but now
they're dishing the beatings out.
Hardcore.
Yeah, Edmonton Impact has won the first 2 professional tournaments, both in Europe and in the States, and obviously the huge favor heading into Dallas. But I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. You have to get to these top levels before you know what it's like. And until you get in there and start, competing at that level, you don't know what the timing is like. You don't know what the talent level is like, the preparation that's required. And but that's, I feel, one of the most important reasons to play competitive paintball. It's a test. It's a personal test. After you go through a whole paintball career, at the end of the day, when I look back, that's kind of what I enjoyed the most out of it, was how good could I get? How much, how tough can you be? When things aren't going your way, how deep is your well? You know, how much can you draw from in order to prevail in those bad situations? And looking back again, you know, it wasn't really about who we were competing against, even though that was great, or all the great teammates and over the years and wins and losses, but those losses really define you. So right here, let's get a little audio update here from Lauren.
Thanks, guys. Going into this point, as you saw, NC was starting with a body down. The last point, they got a minor penalty. That minor penalty fell off because they lost the point. They got a major penalty, which gave the point to Temple, and they had 2 minutes on the clock for their body in the box. They got the penalty for spinning when the player was in the W. Back to you.
That's a whole lot of penalties. And just the moral of the story is here, try to play clean even when things are getting desperate.
Joe Cody going up the middle. Big man for Temple. Coming up, going right into that gap, looking to get a kill out of the middle. Standing now on the Dorito side. NC State loses another body.
You know, when Cody's got some spins in here in the center, he hasn't been doing bad at all. You know, Cody looks like he's walked the center very well. He knows what he's doing up in there. See Cody on your screen, the big man. He's been all over this bunker here in this point so far. Tall enough to play in those cuts. Talking it up. Now he's going to go back to the other side. Again, not looking at a lot of bodies, but just playing it smart. Getting his rep. And gets one out of that back corner bunker.
Yeah, nice shot there by Cody to shoot out that Dorito 1. And here he comes running. NC State player not even considering coming out of that box right now.
I think he was picking up blades of grass, throwing the paintballs around in there.
Cody's running at him with
spelling
his gun
his name and spent paintballs back there.
Singing Suavemente to himself.
So now with just over a minute to go, 1:01 on the clock, point is good. Still 40 seconds left in that NC State penalty. But you know, it is good to see. Yeah, it is good to see, Todd, some of this new blood here in the Class A. The U.S. Naval Academy getting out here and seeing what the fight's like. Obviously, we've seen Fresno State and Drexel for years. Kennesaw State, Connecticut Huskies, same thing there. But you know, some of these younger teams, the Miami Redhawks, NC State, it's good to see these guys because it kind of, you know, breathes a little new life into the division. And it's tough in collegiate paintball because just like any other college sport, you have a lot of turnover, and it's not easy to play at this level. So it's good to see these guys getting some reps against a really good team like Temple, who's been fighting for years to put this squad together.
Yeah, and you know, really, I think they have a shot to take a run at it.
I think they do. I really do.
You know, like we were talking about. You know, they work and work and work, and you know, they got former players coaching, they got former pros coaching. You know, guys that understand, you know, that have been here with some of those younger Temple generation teams and have gotten so close. And, you know, and I know that their coach, Ben Larison, is just ready to get a championship.
So fired up. He can't wait for it. Yeah, he must be very proud right now of the guys. And you know, we've seen Ben used to play for Temple, now been coaching the past couple seasons, and really fired up to try to get the best out of his team. And Temple definitely looks really good, as we can see by, I think this is the biggest point spread that we've seen all day today. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this is the biggest point spread.
And he's got to be happy. You know, they're playing consistent. You know, they're executing, getting big plays out of their big players like at Cabbage and Boucheri.
Well, another team that's making their first event, or making their first splash here, is Clemson Tigers' first event in Class A, and they got beat by Texas A&M 11-1, which is the same scores we're seeing right now. A little bit of battle in there in the center as we reach the closing moments here of this match.
Alston going up that middle. Almost had the body, is almost just tall enough to bunker him over the top. Couldn't get him, came around. Lots of commotion in the middle as Bostrom gets a spin, gets in there, and goes looking for some bodies. Moore still alive over there on the Dorito side for Temple, but bodies are walking off. Looks like Church comes walking off for NC State. Only one body left alive, and he's going to get chopped up by Moore. I believe heads up. So Moore going to come over here. Last body alive on the field. Going to be just him, but he's not going to have enough time.
He misses the flag. He didn't have enough time either, but man, Moore left it all out there. What a great performance by that guy on your screen. Really holding it down.
Game. Moore at Cabbage.
Yeah, Robbie Moore, he played great. Richard at Cabbage, he stepped up. Saw a lot out of Jake Dugan. He played really great. And of course, Boucheri.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's that play in the middle. Tries to go up over the top, can't quite get him.
Little Mexican standoff there in the center.
Yeah, got to come around.
A little bit of that paintball to end the day. So, yeah, big congratulations to the Temple Owls, and it looks like Lauren is down with the victors in their pit.
Yeah, I'm here with Yakub Boucheri. Congratulations, you guys went undefeated on your first day here at Nationals. Last year you guys got 8th place at Nationals. It wasn't the showing that you wanted. This might be your best year ever as a team. You guys won your conference for the first time ever, and you guys are playing so well here on the first day. What would you attribute your success and your improvement to?
I mean, really, we've been practicing every week. Everyone's been committing to the sport, to the team. We're all putting 100% effort in practice. We're all coming with goals in our mind, and this is just how, this is how we do at Temple.
And you guys really went for blood, as you were saying here. You didn't give them any shot. You wanted to keep going for more and more points. What is the goal? Do you guys feel like you have something to prove that you're #1 coming in?
Yeah, we're just trying to, send a message to all the teams out there, telling them this is our year. We're trying to do our best to win, and we can't do it unless we show all the other teams what we're capable of.
Awesome. Well, you definitely showed that today, so congratulations. Go ahead and celebrate. Back up to you, Maddie.
Thanks, Lauren. So thank you guys so much for joining us here. 2016 National Collegiate Paintball Association Championships. It's been a great day at paintball. Congratulations again to Temple. 2 wins for them, along with the Aggies, Central Florida Knights, Purdue Boilermakers, Connecticut Huskies, Drexel Dragons, and the Liberty Flames. They were the winners here today on this main field. We got a full set of games coming at you tomorrow as well. Can't wait for it. Thank you guys for joining us. We will see you tomorrow bright and early.